Now, the SCO Foreign Ministers meeting in Goa has concluded. And living up to the reason it was created in the first place, regional security and growth emerged as two major themes. The meeting started with Indian Foreign Minister making counter-terrorism a priority. Time and again, New Delhi has maintained that no diplomacy is possible if border tensions continue. Without naming Pakistan or China, S. Jaishankar set out a clear message.
There can be no justification for terrorism, and it must be stopped in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism.
Even before landing in Goa, Pakistan's foreign minister made his agenda absolutely clear. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was looking for bilateral cooperations throughout the SCO meetings. His speech was filled with direct references to China and the CPEC. At one point, he even said that CPEC offers all countries invested in the region to take the journey further and connect the dots towards full regional economic integration. Towards the end of his speech, he also spoke about terrorism.
Terrorism continues to threaten global security. Let's not get caught up in weaponizing terrorism for diplomatic points for it. I and my country are firmly committed to eradicating this menace. This requires not only a comprehensive approach, but also a collective approach.
Now, Afghanistan is not part of this grouping, but the instability in the country is impacting the entire region. Foreign ministers have called for a representative government in Afghanistan immediately. Humanitarian assistance and protection of women's rights were also discussed at length. Human rights have taken a major hit since Kabul fell to the Taliban back in 2021. Now, unlike most high-level meetings since last year, Russia enjoyed a warm welcome at the SCO. All the members have been more or less neutral on the war in Ukraine. They all have either voted to abstain or not vote at all during the UN resolutions that condemned Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So for Sergei Lavrov, it was a summit to flex his influence. Now, pushing itself as a global peacemaker, China was assertive at the round table. Foreign Minister Qin Gang held multiple bilateral meetings yesterday as well as today. He even sat down with his Indian counterpart. Cross-border tensions remained a highlight of the closed-door meeting. New Delhi and Beijing saw a dip in their ties during the 2020 clash in Ladakh's Galwan Valley. Talks have been on and off since then. Now, just a little background, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is an intergovernmental organization. It was founded by Russia and China in Shanghai on 15th of June back in 2001. The SCO took birth as a counterweight to US alliances across East Asia to the Indian Ocean. The group is mulling over adding Iran and Belarus to the alliance as members as well. Now, India is the chair for this year and the theme is Secure SCO. New Delhi is also looking to secure its own interests in the region. The summit comes as relations between Beijing and Moscow take on greater significance. China gaining more leverage over Russia could irk New Delhi in the long run. Analysts say that the SCO remains important for access to Central Asia, especially at a time when Asia is emerging as a counter to West's long-enjoyed global throne. Now, joining us on this broadcast, we have with us Sharad Sabarwal, former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan. Welcome to the broadcast, sir.
Thank you.
Now, in his speech, the Pakistani foreign minister mentioned reasons for terrorism and categorically differentiated between state and non-state actors. I want to ask you this. Is he trying to justify terrorism?
You know, Pakistan has been propounding this root causes theory, as they call it, and some other countries have also been doing it to justify acts of terror. For us, the position is quite clear. There is no justification of terror, as External Affairs Minister also said, and you showed that. There is no justification of terror, period. during my tenure as High Commissioner, I would often ask my interlocutors whether they would accept the same justification, root causes theory, in the case of their own creations, which were perpetrating acts of terror within the Pakistani territory, within the bounds of Pakistan. And I must say that I never got a clear reply. So the other thing that they have been doing is this non-state actor business. This is an attempt to disown responsibility for acts of terror perpetrated with the active support of the Pakistani state over the years. Let me take an example. In June 2009, within months of the Mumbai attacks, and I was High Commissioner then, they gave us a detailed dossier in which they accepted that Lashkar-e-Toiba had perpetrated that attack. But then they said it's a non-state actor. Now, I had two problems with that, and I continue to have two problems with this whole business of non-state actors. First, Lashkar-e-Toiba and tanzeems like that are not non-state actors. These are organizations, all of us know, sponsored and supported by the Pakistan Army. And as you might have seen, Hafiz Saeed was protected by the Pakistani establishment till the pressure from Financial Action Task Force was too much. Now, the second is that when you talk of non-state actors, even if you assume for the sake of argument that Lashkar-e-Toiba is a non-state actor, can a state disown responsibility for actions of non-state actors from its territory against another state? The answer is a clear no. So I think these are theories propounded by Pakistan which will not be acceptable to anyone.
Right. Now, in his concluding remarks, he brings in references like xenophobia, fascism and historical revisionism. He, of course, did not mention India, but was this an attempt to point fingers at the Indian side?
No, I would say, why do we feel, why should we show or feel any sensitivity on such references? Are we supporting xenophobia? Are we supporting fascism? No, the answer is a clear no. In fact, Pakistan itself has seen widespread violence in the name of religion and sectarianism. And they are not in a position to offer any lessons to us or to any other country. So I don't see why we should feel, even if he makes a reference, so be it.
All right. Thank you for all those insights, Mr. Sabharwal. Thank you for joining us on WION. Now, for more on this story, we are also being joined live from Goa, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibul, as well as Anas Malik from Islamabad, our Pakistan bureau chief. Welcome to the broadcast, both of you. Siddhant, hectic diplomatic talks are now finally over in Goa. You have been there reporting all day. What are some of the key highlights that are emerging?
Well, it was a packed day here in Goa. We saw the foreign ministers meeting and several bilaterals the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr S Jaishankar had. But essentially the focus for India was to make a lot of convergences when it comes to issues like counter-terrorism and of course on the modernization of the grouping as well. We know that this grouping is looking towards a major expansion with Iran and Belarus becoming full-fledged member of the grouping at the Delhi summit. And today, pacts were signed with 4 countries, that's Maldives, Myanmar, Kuwait and UAE when it comes to they becoming dialogue partners. But essentially now, next we are looking at a press conference by the Indian External Affairs Minister Dr S Jaishankar, who, of course, as the chair of the SCO, will be taking questions from the SCO media personnel who are present here. And this, of course, has been the key focus, but there was also focus on the Pakistani foreign minister's presser, in which he made a number of statements, including on the state of relationship that is also gathering a lot of storm, essentially, as to what he said here in Goa.
Right. Anas, how is Islamabad reacting to Pakistan foreign minister's visit to India?
Well, it's a mixed bag of reactions or emotions that how Islamabad is seeing this visit. Some say that given the animosity between the two countries, the foreign minister should not have been there. Some say that this is the right way to go about it and that to separate multilateralism and bilateralism. So we're seeing a mixed package of reactions. There is some critique from the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, the PTI led by Imran Khan on this visit, but PTI seems to be divided as well, because Shah Mahmood Qureshi, the former foreign minister, says that this was the right thing to do, because given that the history of SCO and the nature of the SCO, largely speaking, we've seen that a lot of praise has come in here in Islamabad, at least, or from Islamabad, for the fact that it is being dubbed as a bold move on the part of the Pakistani foreign minister to undertake a visit in the election year to a country which it does not have good ties with, be that historical, trade or cultural, at least at this point of time. Ananya?
Absolutely a bold move indeed, Anas, and we will be tracking India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's press conference, as Siddhant also mentioned, shortly from now. Thank you for all those insights, Anas and Siddhant, from Islamabad and Goa. Thank you.